Good day, viewers. You are watching Careers Bistro, where we supplement your favorite corporate publication called Careers Hub every Friday. My name is Jemima Ndebele, and I'll be your host for today. This week, we have an exciting lineup from company profile to news as you know it. But please do stay tuned for a really exciting interview with Dr. Amesho that took place recently on our virtual career experience.
Right, if you're just joining us, this is of course the Career VX. I am Hanchaka Porfi, and I am of course the second presenter for Channel 1 today here at Career VX, where we will definitely be plugging you with all things careers, with this year's theme of course being unsung heroes, of course those careers that not so many of us take seriously. But I am joined here in studio by a general practitioner, Dr. Josephine Amesho. Good day, doctor. Thank you so much for joining us today. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes. All right. So, could you please share with us a little bit about your career and what it entails?
Thank you. So obviously being a general practitioner means you are the primary contact of the general population, people who don't necessarily want to attend or go seek medical health at the state hospitals. So basically you are the primary contact for families who want to be attended to in private.
Okay, quite interesting. All right, share with us a little bit why this career path? What made you choose this career path?
Well, when I was growing up, I actually thought I wanted to become an architect, but like my parents were like, no. And my mom wanted me to become a doctor. My dad wanted me to become a lawyer. So obviously I went with my mom's choice, and I actually enjoyed it. I enjoyed studying medicine, although it was 6 years. It was a very long time, but it was quite a journey. And I think for me also, I always had passion for helping people. You know, like just to make a difference in somebody's life. That's something that makes me feel accomplished.
Amazing, amazing. So how interesting is that? Because we just had an architect here right before we seated with you. All right, so can you share with us what if I'm in high school right now and I would love to get onto that career path and become a doctor, what subjects should I take?
Well, if you're in high school, you obviously need to study the science field. I don't know what they have right now, but back in my day, we had the science field, which obviously you needed to have biology, chemistry, physical science, I think, mathematics, obviously. Yeah, those are the basic requirements. And obviously, you also need to do excellent, because you need to pass with flying colors if you want to do medicine, because it's quite difficult to get into a medical school if you don't have the necessary requirements.
Yeah, so true, really, really true. All right, so seeing now, let me say I've chosen the science field, I've excelled. Which universities are those that you'd probably recommend for me as a student? Should I go to School of Medicine here in Namibia? Should I go study abroad? And also just take us through that process of actually applying to med school.
Okay, so I think there's quite a lot of medical schools that you can go to, but obviously the school needs to be accredited and it needs to be a good school. School of Medicine is also a good medical school. I would recommend that. Not that I went there, though. I did study abroad. But if you find a school, any medical school that you do research and make sure that the school is accredited, you can also go there. There's also quite a number of good schools, or a lot of good schools in South Africa. If you don't want to be far from home, you can go to South Africa. Or you can, if you want to explore, you can go abroad. Applying for med school is quite a long process because you need, depending on the school, of course, I think they need to research, English tests. Sometimes they require English tests, And then they also require, that's the most basic requirement, an English test, not the test that you do at home, it's a specific test that you can do.
Yeah.
And then you just begin the process. And I remember also sometimes you need to write why you think you'd be a good candidate for medicine. Not necessarily at all of the schools, but some of them do require that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite a process, but it can be done. I mean, if I did it, anybody can do it.
Yes, yes, I love that. If I did it, anybody can do it. If Dr. Amesho can do it, then everybody can definitely do it. All right, so tell us a little bit about your greatest successes and challenges as a general practitioner.
I think my greatest success was opening, because considering I was working in the state for a few months before I went private. So for me, opening the practice was quite a big success. And then some of the challenges, I think, coming into a new sphere, like being a general practitioner requires a lot of time as well, because you need to work at your practice, and sometimes you have to be at hospitals. So I think the challenge was mainly time. Time was a challenge. You do have time because you work at your own schedule, but then also you have a lot of clients. Some clients are always calling you, oh no, doctor, I need this, doctor, I need that. So I think being able to attend to extra, let's say, other activities outside of the practice, that's also something that was quite a challenge for me. Yeah.
All right. So you've mentioned time right now. Tell us, let's get into your schedule as a general practitioner. What is the first thing you do? How do you handle your time? Because you said there are some clients that, and most probably some clients that have your private number, they can just call you at any time. No, doctor, I need this. It's happening right now. So how do you deal with all of that? Run us through your day.
Okay, so basically what happens, how I wake up, I mean, obviously I need to wake up in the morning and feed my face. And thereafter, I normally, my secretaries normally inform me of the scheduled appointment for the day. And then I go to the office. But obviously sometimes you come to the office, the client is quite sick, and you need to make an arrangement for them to be admitted at the hospital. Or sometimes you come to the office and it's a theater case, and you have to make arrangements to go to theater. So I think time management is very important. You need to know how to manage your time. And clients who call me on the phone, they do call me on the phone actually. They're like, oh no, doc, I'm in real boss, but I need a prescription. But that's quite easy, but you need to obviously find out what's going on. Yeah. And then you assist the client. So I think technology has also quite made it easy, because sometimes you are not always where your doctor is, but you can always communicate via WhatsApp or whatever it is, platform that you have, and then you can inform your doctor. So basically like a telephonic consultation. So I do make time for those, and then obviously the people who are at the office, the clients at the office, then I attend to those. And then, I book the next clients for the next day.
Amazing, amazing. All right, so Dr. Amesho, could you tell us a little bit, what is the importance of having more Namibian doctors within our country? For example, I think in Namibia we have a lot of foreign doctors, people that come from other countries coming to open up their practices here. So what is the importance of actually having Namibian students opening up their practices in the country and having our very own Namibian doctors?
Well, first of all, I think that was one of the reasons why I actually opened, because I realized there was a lot of fear considering at the time that I opened, I was like 29, and I'm black, I'm female. So I think people think it's undoable, right? Because maybe you're not necessarily the perfect character or caliber of people who normally open practices. But it's always good to have people from the country who are attending to our nation, do you understand? Because that means you're also giving back to the community, you're giving back to your people. And also just to have that, some people are comfortable having somebody like me, I speak Oshuambo. People are comfortable coming to me, they speak in their home language, and sometimes they can better express themselves. So in that regard, you can also, manage somebody's problem better because you understand them. They're speaking in their vernacular language. If you're speaking Oshuambo, they're speaking Oshuambo, whatever it is that you may be speaking. And also other than that, I think it's also just a way of, developing the health system in the country when we have a lot of doctors who are coming together to make a difference outside of the state hospital.
Yeah, so true. All right, Dr. Amesho, I want to find out from you, because now you're a doctor, you treat people that are sick most times. So when you are sick, where do you actually go? Do you also have a doctor for yourself, or do you just treat yourself? Because, okay, my mom is a nurse, and if she's sick, she will do everything on her own. She's that girly. So are you also that girly? Do you do everything on your own? Like, you know what, I don't need to go to a doctor. I can figure this out myself.
You know, actually, I think in all of my life I've been to a doctor. I can count on my hand the number of times I've been to a doctor. Normally, when I'm sick, I just prescribe and I treat myself because I'm just like, what am I going to do to the other doctor that I already know? In fact, my friends, some of them are doctors. When I tell them about this, and they're like, "Oh, doc, just do this and this. You already know this." They don't even take you seriously. They're just like, you know what to do. So that can be a challenge.
Yeah. Wow. That's really interesting. Right, Dr. Amesho, what advice do you have for aspiring doctors, someone that would like to become a doctor, but they don't really know that path, or they are really afraid to embark onto that journey? What advice do you have for them?
Well, first of all, if you have a goal and you want to achieve it, wanting to achieve anything starts with having the goal, right? And then you need to carry through. It's not difficult if you put your mind to it, you know. It's obviously difficult when you're thinking about it, but once you start following the steps, you know, looking for schools, you know, doing the application forms, you'll realize that it actually gets better with time. Even if you have challenges, if you really want to become a doctor, you can. It can be challenging, but you need to push through because the end goal is worth it. You know, and a lot of times people think like being a doctor is such a serious career, and you can't just become a doctor. You can if you want to.
Yeah.
I must say that was quite an interesting flashback Friday here on Careers Bistro. Now, if you're looking for some motivation after a long week, then do stay tuned for some career motivation.
Hello, my name is Josephine Amesho. I am a senior legal advisor at Bank Windhoek under the Capricorn Group, and I'm 30 years old. My study started with a degree in economics and finance at the University of Cape Town. Thereafter, I was employed as a temp in Bank Windhoek under the credit risk department, where I had a great team and an excellent boss. The bank saw potential in me and granted me a scholarship to study my LLB. Thereafter, I studied my LLB at the University of Pretoria and was successful in that. I came back to Namibia. I did my 2 years of articles at Fisher Comp and Pfeiffer Attorneys, and I'm now employed full-time with the bank. I'm looking forward in my journey with the bank to learning more about the banking industry, to increasing my expertise in commercial law, and to becoming an asset to the bank and the Capricorn Group as a whole. Thank you.
Well, you know, we love to dive into various industries and give you guys an insight into what it is that every company has to offer. This week, we featured the Motor Vehicle Accident Fund in our corporate publication, Careers Hub. But if you want to see what exactly they are about and you're not into the whole reading thing, well then do stay tuned for a company tour of the Motor Vehicle Accident Fund's premises.
Accident Fund, a public enterprise that has been in operation since 1990, is responsible for developing, promoting and putting crash and injury prevention strategies into action. According to the MVA Funds Act No. 10 of 2007, the fund aspires to uphold a high level of customer centricity by offering aid and benefits to all individuals injured and the dependents of those killed in motor vehicle crashes. One of the fund's main goals and vision is to reduce the impact of motor vehicle crashes on the lives of road users by devising strategies for accident and injury prevention with key stakeholders. The fund further strives to become financially sustainable to assist all persons affected by road crashes. The vision of supporting your journey to independence defines the MVA Fund's role in supporting injured people or dependents of persons injured or killed in motor vehicle crashes to participate in the community economically and socially. The vision therefore requires the MVA Fund to ensure that claimants are empowered to take ownership of their journey to recovery and independent living. The mission of enhancing customer experience through tailored services and empower them to return to meaningful life, describes the MVA Fund's intent to tailor its services to meet its customers' needs, whether they are road users or people affected by road crashes. For injured people, the aim is to empower them to return to meaningful life. Currently, the fund employs 182 staff members working at the Windhoek head office and across the 8 branches located throughout the country. The key principles and values of the MVA Fund include passion, excellence, teamwork, and integrity. The performance-driven culture of the company is guided by these values. Their core values set forth the intended attitudes and conduct that all employees are expected to display at all times. To oversee the institution's work, a board of directors was constituted in 2001. The MVA Fund was founded as an agency in the Directorate of Administration within the Ministry of Finance in 1990. Since then, the fund has been turned into a fully fledged state-owned enterprise by Act No. 10 of 2007. The fund offers payments to people injured in motor vehicle crashes as well as to the dependents of people killed in motor vehicle crashes. The fund also gives the following benefits to persons killed or injured in a motor vehicle crash: injury grant up to 100,000 Namibian dollars, loss of support limited up to 100,000 Namibian dollars per annum, loss of income up to 100,000 Namibian dollars per annum, funeral grant up to 7,000 Namibian dollars, and medical benefits limited up to 1.5 million Namibian dollars. Coupled with this goal, or coupled with these benefits, the fund's belief is that its greatest asset is its human capital, hence being rated by the employees as the best company to work for since 2011. In case of a crash, all public members are called upon to call this number, the MVA Fund's accident response number, which is 9682, as doing so can save a life.
Here on Careers Bistro, we make sure to give you guys news from all corners of the country, all things corporate, all things Namibian. Therefore, do stay tuned as we take a look at some news from the northern parts of the country as well as the central.
3 entrepreneurs from Keetmanswap won their share of 85,000 Namibian dollars through the Old Mutual Sustainable Economy and Empowerment Drive Initiative. Old Mutual Namibia, along with Launch Namibia, the Financial Literacy Initiative, and the United Nations Development Programme Accelerator Lab, completed the second edition of OMSEED initiative on the 11th of August 2022. With the top 20 Keetmanswap entrepreneurs taking the stage to pitch their business ideas. During the award ceremony, Unomasa Kavita of Kavita Sports Performance walked away with the first prize of 50,000 Namibian dollars. Kavita says his idea was birthed after he saw a gap in the market within the South to elevate athletes' performance and provided a practicing facility. Jonathan Freyer of Portland's Keetmanswap came in second place and won 25,000 Namibian dollars. He says that through the training he received through OMSEED initiative changed his life. Another winner, Bertha Boyce of Caring Hearts Breed Making Project, who came in third place, walked away with the sum of 10,000 Namibian dollars. Boyce applauded the Old Mutual for the initiative. She says that her choice to apply for OMSEED changed her life.
Keep going.
7.
Yeah.
Oh,
7 times. Yeah, 7 times. So, what contributes to this remarkable and incredible launch tonight is that Topsquare has turned 40 years this year. So, Topsquare is 40 years, and this is the 7th time we're coming here. Basically, if you're 40 years old, you are old. And Topsquare is getting old every year and every year. And as we get old, we grow, and the brand is growing, and that's how we're able to invest back in the community. For us, it's definitely a milestone to be 40 years and to be the 7th year in Oshana region. So I think we deserve a round of applause to Topsquare. obviously we can't have a tournament without teams. So teams, thank you very much for always seeing interest in the tournament. We know that money is always an issue, and that's why we cut down the prize money, the registration fees to 500, which is, I think, a fair amount. It's honestly close to nothing if you compare to other tournaments. So we keep this money so low so that we can have a lot of teams, like 80 teams, like how we got now this year. Are there any new teams in here?
Top score from Namibian Mills. They came on board to sponsor this tournament, and that will be paid to the event organizer, GB Events Promotion, with an amount of 150,000 Namibian dollars. Give it a big round of applause. Okay, now.
Well, it has been great here on Careers Bistro, giving you all things corporate, all things Namibian, all things that we featured in our weekly publication called Careers Hub. Please do make sure to tune in again next week as we come to you with amazing corporate news and more insights into your favorite movers and shakers, new appointments, and even CEO profiles. From me, Jemima Ndebele, it's goodbye.